Welcome to 90210 Universe, a podcast dedicated to showcasing unique, creative, and diverse humans who are making their mark by living their legacies. Visionaries who took and take action daily. We all have a story. Here, we share ours to inspire, move, and empower others. It's okay to face challenges as we all journey through survival, thriving, and succeed in life. So join us as we spotlight rock stars who navigate the roller coasters of life and use their uniqueness to show that if they can do it, so can you.
Hello, and welcome to the 90210 Universe podcast, where we dive into the inspiring stories of incredible individuals from our community. They share their journeys of success and resilience. And my name is Michelle Wilson, and I'll be your host today, guiding you through today's episode. And we are thrilled to have you here. And we want to give a special shout out to our sponsor, 90210 Enterprise, which is a premier platform dedicated to fostering global connections, innovative solutions, and legacy building opportunities. So let's jump into our episode today. I am so honored to introduce you to Jeff Berger, who's a visionary leader who specializes in helping individuals and businesses navigate modern world innovative approaches. Jeff is a certified holistic coach with a finance first emphasis. He's also a global ambassador and a pioneer. And the name of his company is Abundance and Optimum Wellness. Welcome, Jeff.
Thank you, Michelle. It's great to be here, and I'm humbled to be on this series of 90210 Universe podcast.
Well, I'm excited. And, I've had a conversation with you. I've read your bio, and you have a remarkable background. So, the first thing I'd like to know is just, share your story with us, your journey of, how did you start off to become a certified holistic coach? And then all of a sudden you had this, where you've connected the finance first approach. So can you just take us through your journey?
Sure. So I am an ex-software engineer of 27 plus years. I left corporate America in 2015 from total burnout. And I was on my own journey because I was having health issues. And in 2018, I was introduced to the holistic world right around the time my doctor wanted to put me on a sixth medication. And I said, no. And within about, so it was about 9 months, I explored that holistic route and actually got off of all of my medications. I lost 60 pounds and I reversed my type 2 diabetes. And I reduced stress, anxiety, and depression that was at a 10 plus for decades down to a level 1. And that was August of 2019. So with that, I became a certified holistic wellness coach, focusing on the gut microbiome, the gut brain heart axis, coaching students and who wanted to really focus on their health and getting better. But 2 years ago, I kind of diversed and kind of went off of the path because my company is Abundance and Optimum Wellness, as you can see here, right there. And with that, I believe we all should be living in abundance and optimum wellness physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. So I was talking about everything else except finances. 2 years ago, I was introduced to a holistic financial option. I explored it. I am now moving forward with a finance first because the number one stressor globally is finances. And here I am today as a global ambassador.
I am so excited. That sounds remarkable. So tell me a little bit about, you're saying finance first, as you said, as it comes to, health and wellness, and you're saying that's like one of the number one stressor. How do you help individuals with their finances? Can you go a little bit more into detail about that?
Sure. So I'm not a certified financial planner. From that respect, what I do is I really provide a direction to people who are looking for new options, because I had found personally that our current medical and financial system is broken and corrupt. And what do I mean by that? When you look at the bigger picture, these institutions are built by these people here. The masses are down here. And who's benefiting more? The people who created, while they're still suffering down here. So the idea is I've introduced in the world of, and most people know about this decentralization. And this is really a distribution of power and control that's being taken away from the centralized authorities and bringing it over to another side of the road, if you will, to give more power, more control to that individual to have potentially better outcome to whatever situation. For me, it was, I started with the medical field. My doctor said, you have to stay on medications for the rest of your life. And I didn't agree with that. Why didn't I agree with that? Because I saw my father go through type 2 diabetes and heart disease, leg amputation. He died at 70 from type 2 diabetes and multiple heart attacks and bypass surgery, so forth and so on. I'm like, I don't want that path. There's got to be another way. That brought me into holistic. It's outside of that centralized medical authority, where over here, the holistic practitioners have a little bit more control on educating you about how you can treat your body temple. We only have one chance to make it work, and we need to have that right information. So that's where it started. And then in 2 years ago, 2022, I was struggling. This is part of my story. I lost over 900,000 in the stock market between 9/11 and 2008 with the real estate crash here in the United States.
Wow.
And to get all that back after 27 years of doing the software engineering, it was impossible. You couldn't do that. So I needed to look at, and I was open, praying, please put me in front of something that will change the trajectory of where my retirement is going to go, rather than end up down in the toilet, because of 401ks were turning into 101ks, and I had one that turned into a 0K. So I was introduced to this digital real estate, and that I explored it. I was cynical, but I was open to getting information and being educated because I didn't know anything about it. And today, here I am as an advocate to really sharing information. That's the step number one. Share information, see if they resonate with this. They evaluate what they're going through currently, and would this be a good fit for them? So for me, I took a low 6-figure retirement portfolio. It should have been in the high 7s by now, but I took that low 6-figure. Today it's in the 7 figures, and I anticipate with the diversification that I've done, that it will hit high 7s, if not 8 figures. And this is done through not my financial planner, because he knew nothing about the decentralized world. Very, very conservative. And that's okay if the economy is good and things are going well. But that wasn't the case 2 years ago. And when I pulled everything out, that was my choice, or our choice, I should say. We pulled everything out, and he said, "What are you, crazy? You're nuts. You got to give it time, give it time." I said, "Dude, I'm going to be 70 years old in 2 years. I don't have more time to wait for." So I decided to get into my uncomfortable zone, and that's where growth appears. When you get into your uncomfortable zone, you're learning new things, you're growing, you're expanding on top of what you already know. And I got tired of being in that little box, staying in my comfort zone, saying, "Oh, well, okay, maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. And okay, I'll listen to what they say." No, you have to be the CEO of your life from all aspects, health, financial. So,
and I love what you're saying, that, you actually, it was through personal growth that you've made this decision. And I'm sure you've done your research, becoming a global ambassador. So I'm sure there's a lot of different companies out there. And I know it's fairly new, but it's not really new. But can you talk about a little bit about what does fractional ownership really mean
sure.
for our audience? And
Yeah,
like I
absolutely.
said, how did you chose this particular, if it's a company or organization, to be the ambassador? Because I'm sure it is to do with blockchain technology and so forth. And I know there's a lot of programs out there, some are very reputable, and then unfortunately some aren't. So
Right.
how individual
Right.
they want to go into this, want to supplement their portfolio, what would be the
Sure.
best way to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So to be transparent, I had a learning failing experience that cost me $125,000. That was
Wow.
very first experience getting into this platform. And I'm talking about the blockchain technology and the world of digital currency, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, I just started to research, ask questions, and learn what do I need to do to vet out companies, vet out projects that are um, reliable and that are authentic. And with regards to the real estate, this fractional ownership, when I was introduced, I'm like, I don't have the money to invest in high-end hotel resorts and
Right.
high-end apartment or condominium luxury living. I don't have that kind of money. Well, come to realize it's really open to the masses because you can come in as low as $200 or you can come in at $50,000. There's different packages. So that really opened up my eyes to say, well, there's something here. It's getting people introduced. They can play around in the ecosystem. And from that, I enrolled. I started to do my I did my due diligence 2 months worth first.
Right.
Heading out the company, they're registered with the governmental agencies where they're doing business. Where we have 109 countries that are in our ecosystem right now, and then our real world assets, which is we're not a cryptocurrency business. We are a real world asset. And that's the separation there because our tokens, our NFTs, and our coins, they're all backed by real estate.
Wow.
Right? So you've got something tangible, and when I went to Dubai in August of last year, it's like I went to two of the properties. I could see it, I could feel it, I touched it. So that was a huge paradigm shift for me looking at this from the difference of investing in cryptocurrency back in 2021 where I just lost my shirt on that. So due diligence is good. Their tokens, their NFTs are and their coins are registered, and so it's all about being registered with the appropriate authorities that will grant you protection. All right, because a lot of these companies are not protected. They're registered with insurance companies on their property, so forth and so on. So the tokenization aspect of it is basically you're owning a small percentage of a piece of property. And as they rent that property out, depending if it's an apartment or a glamp that we have that's being built in Zanzibar, on the island of Zanzibar, or an apartment complex, we're getting dividends from those rentals that are coming in. So you're owning a small piece of it, and you could own a small piece, a medium piece, or even the full apartment or the full glamp, because there's that possibility as well. So with that, I've learned over the last 2 years that real world assets is the new terminology that's being played today. I would say in the last 6 to 12 months pretty heavily, because real world assets is something tangible. It's something you can touch. Like I said, real estate, cars, jewelry, things you're going to be able to put onto the blockchain technology and sell it like that. All right. So that fractional ownership comes to where people who are looking for unique new ways of investing, what is being developed today from a technological perspective that's going to change the world 3 to 5 to 10 years plus down the road. And I kind of equivalate this where when Apple started, Netflix, Amazon, they started back in the day with their business paradigm and their model. Where are they today?
And I like to stop you there for 1 minute. We're going to talk about the
Yeah.
paradigm shift, because you're definitely talking about, the finance and the financial world.
Sure.
And I know there's a lot of speculation of what's going to happen in the future. So I would love to get some more
Right.
insight with that.
Absolutely.
We're going to go to take a short break to bring you one of our valued sponsors. And we want to make sure you please, check out our sponsor while while we're right back. And, we'll continue with our guest, with Jeff. So thank you so much.
Welcome to 90210 Enterprise, where your dreams take flight. Join an exclusive community of over 20,000 professionals, unlocking access to world-class business consulting and powerful networking opportunities, with expertise spanning 12 specialized sectors, including network, business and ventures, real estate, finance, and more. Choose from our tailored access plans, corporate access and executive access. Unlock exclusive benefits of corporate and executive access, including a 30-minute orientation with Dr. Natalie Forrest, Executive Director of 90210 and President of the Media Vertical, and a 45-minute consultation with Ashkan Tabibnia, Founder and CEO of 90210 Enterprise for Corporate Access members. Executive Access members receive a 30-minute consultation. As a member, you enjoy access to special opportunities to expand your reach, participate, and collaborate with our partners, such as Vire and Depeche, and have your message be shared globally. Are you ready to turn your dreams into reality? Join us today and experience the difference. Contact us at 90210enterprise@gmail.com.
Okay, welcome back to the 90210 universe, where we showcase unique, creative, and diverse humans who are living their legends today. And today we're with Jeff Berger. And he has been talking about his journey from an engineer to, optimum health certified coach. And now he has he's actually diversed into, the financial aspect of how and actually it was his story, because Jeff had lost thousands and thousands of dollars in the stock market, and he wanted to really see how it was your retirement. Was that correct, Jeff? That your
That is
retirement,
correct.
how you were going
Hundreds of thousands.
hundreds of thousands. Okay, hundreds of thousands.
Yes. Yeah.
And even when you decided to pivot and you started looking into the world of digital assets, you also lost money again, but that didn't stop you. So I think that's amazing. And what was it that didn't stop you? You could have reverted back and said, okay, I could, just keep my money where it's at. But what was it that said, hey, I see something different and special about this industry? And it sounded like what you did is, instead of investing in, you became more educated so you can make an educated decision. But tell me, after that first loss, I know many of us, I probably would have just said, hey, I'm done. I wouldn't do it again. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So when I first lost that big chunk back between 9/11 and 2008, it put me into a very, very severe depression.
Mm,
And in 2022, just 2 years ago, lost 75,000. And that's still a nice chunk of change.
right.
But I said, you know what? I cannot let this devastation ruin me like it did previously.
Mm,
So with that, I was determined that I knew something was going on, but I needed to get more educated and again, step into my uncomfortable zone to really get out there, because I know other people are hurting. Other people are suffering. They're working paycheck to paycheck. So, as I mentioned, I was out in Dubai last year, and I was actually asked, would I be open to being a global ambassador to bringing this business model to the United States, because we are registered in the United States to do business, and bring this new technology of digital real estate to the US market and start educating them. And I'm like, absolutely. So when I got started, there was some really great perks and whistles that came on, when I was coming on board. Unfortunately, those are no longer available. Every once in a great while, they will have a special that they will offer. But it was very, very lucrative for me to come on board and at that time. But this really got my mind spinning, thinking, and as the global ambassador for this, innovative company that's revolutionizing the future of real estate through digital technology, I, really got committed, deeply committed to empowering individuals and communities worldwide, because there is need out there. And this is just only one minute part of people's needs out there, because as I mentioned earlier, it's all about, for me, educating physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and financial. So the financial is that last piece of the puzzle that has fulfilled my journey, and I want to move forward with that. And the business is really providing, although it's providing these individuals who are global-minded entrepreneurs with the new ways to wealth in the modern world, so they can circumvent the broken and corrupt systems and go from financial fatigue to financial freedom. It's also about, creating opportunities, creating and providing access to new information that is not out in the mainstream, because so much of this is filtered, because I won't even go to that. Just because. And then building a more inclusive and supportive digital world where everybody has a chance to thrive, because this is where the world is going. Everything will be done on the blockchain technology in the future. The medical system is doing, the government systems are doing, the bank systems are doing. So why aren't people being educated about this? 95% or, around 90 to 95% are just basically clueless. Yeah, they've heard about it, but it's like, Bitcoin, blockchain technology, yada, yada, yada. And let me throw this in, and then I'll stop there.
Okay.
As a software engineer back in 2009, 2010, around that time when Bitcoin came out, I was offered to purchase 500 Bitcoin at 0.0017 cents.
Wow.
And I said, no, it's a scam. And I mean, the highest has been, I think, was like $70,000 per coin.
Wow.
If I had jumped on board, I wouldn't be here today. I'd be eating bonbons on a beach.
Right, because even though the even Bitcoin has been going up and down, but it's been pretty steady over the years.
Correct.
And you talk about ownership. What is different about, owning a digital asset on the blockchain as opposed to just owning regular real estate? What does that mean by the ownership of that?
So it's a different form of ownership. You have a contract that's digitized. It's on the blockchain technology. So you own that piece of property, if you will, that eminent property. And there's no difference in ownership, except you're in a centralized versus a decentralized arena. But what I see the difference in with this particular type of investment is that the world of digital currency, it's in a very fast-paced paradigm shift right now.
Right.
You look at the Bitcoin, it went up and down and up and down, and now it's up, up, up and down. So with that change, we've heard about the digitizations about banks and going digital. Well, it's happening.
Right.
All right. It's happening underneath our feet, where people are looking here. They're not looking, down there. Oh, something's going on down there. Oh, no, I'm not going to look down there. They got to look and just start becoming aware of these changes that are happening, because sometime down the future, they're going to be pushed right in their face. Guess what? We've digitized. We're gone digital.
And then
Yeah.
as a global ambassador, how is it that you educate? Because like you said, it's not really mainstream. So how do they find you? How would someone find you? Is it through workshops? Is it individual coaching? I mean, as you said, we have a lot of education and, out here that we can readily, get a hold of. Like I said, if we wanted to have a financial planner, there's financial planners all over that we can go to. How is it as a global ambassador that an individual, if they had no clue of what, a digital asset, no clue about blockchain and crypto, how does it come across in their world?
So it's all about research. However, with that being said, I do have an ebook that I have developed, and it really provides education on blockchain, decentralization, cryptocurrency, and real world assets. So it kind of ties that whole paradigm shift into a little ebook where they can start to learn about this whole paradigm shift. And I offer it to people who attend my workshops. I do have free workshops to, give them information about digital real estate and the benefits of, as most people hear, the early bird gets the biggest worm. Well, if you got in Netflix or Amazon or back in the day, where would you be today purchasing some stock back then? It's the same thing here, where we have basically launched this, and we're basically the first people who have successfully tokenized real estate on the blockchain technology. And, so with that, it's through workshops that I do on a monthly basis. I have the ebook. I send them to websites showing them who we are, what we're doing, what we have already in the works, because we're developing an ecosystem that is specifically for the people that come on board. They get access to this ecosystem, whether they want to come on board from a real estate perspective. There are educational, we're getting really great recognition in our ILM Versity, which is a metaverse educational system. We're getting ready to launch that. We're going to have tour and travel and tourism as part of the ecosystem. We're going to have a real estate marketplace where you can put your house on the blockchain technology and somebody will buy it like that. You don't have to put it on the market for months and months and months, deal with realtors, brokers, insurance, blah, 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 blah. So there's an advantage of coming on board from that. And it's learning one step at a time. And what I love about the program is that people can come on board for as low as I said earlier, $200, $500, $1,000, up to $50,000. Obviously, each package has its attributes that for coming on board with that specific amount of money, the higher you go, the more attributes you get. But it gets them into the ecosystem to test the waters. Because I got in for $50,000 first.
Right.
When I got into it, was like, oh my gosh, this is available, that's available. Okay, well, I ended up, coming in with 4 packages that gave me like $300,000 of free money. Now, as I said earlier, that was back when I got started. That's all gone. However, every once in a while, they'll run some promotions. You get 10% off, 20% off on certain packages. So those are going to be available as we, further expand our portfolio. And we have 4 properties right now, 2 in Dubai, 1 in Zanzibar. This is a Mozambique park, a property. And this is the CEO of the company when I was on a Zoom, and he said, isn't that Mozambique? The property? I said, yeah, that's one of the penthouses, and that's the penthouse I want. He said, no, that's the penthouse I want. I said, you're going to have to fight for that one, buddy.
Wow.
So
tell me, how do we get, if you want to download or get your ebook and also sign up for one of your workshops, where will we go to do that?
Sure. So I am on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. I think LinkedIn would be the best bet. Is just look for Jeffrey E. Berger.
Okay.
Look for the bald-headed dude, easy to find, and everything is there. And my workshops you can sign up for. I have them 3 times a month, and those who sign up for the workshop, they will get the link to the free ebook. But then they can also get access to my digital business card. It kind of outlays my journey being a holistic wellness coach. I do have a TV series. I'm starting my 6th season tomorrow, actually. So I've won 2 awards for that, and it's syndicated. So there's a lot of information on that. I'm a contributing author to 2 digital magazines. I've been on the cover, about 8 times in the last 3 years, and have been co-authoring, contributing author for multiple of Amazon books and anthologies. So it gives you a really good idea of what I've been doing to incorporate my brand. And I
know
believe
that you're coming up on September 11th. You have a very special event coming up. Then please tell us a little bit about that. I know you're becoming, you're an honorary doctorate. Oh,
yeah. So down here, yes, my wealth coach is the person that I'm working with in regards to this digital real estate, who I do introduce people to, and he's my mentor. He became a millionaire at 27 in the real estate, and now he has incorporated the digital aspect as well. But he's the one who actually recommended me about 4 months ago to this honorary doctorate with the UIPM, which is Universal Institute of Professional Management. And I found out a month ago I was accepted, and I fly out on the 11th and attend the ceremony and receive the doctorate on the 14th of September.
Oh,
So I'm very, very excited about it. Never in a million years would I have thought I would, have this honor. And, I'm just really very, very touched.
Well, congratulations, and thank you so much for joining us today on the 90210 universe and just sharing your story and giving us hope. I know a lot of folks
Mm,
out there, during the last few years, have lost part of their retirement or, are just finding different ways to be able to be part of the investing world. So thank you for sharing your story. And,
you're welcome.
there's other options, and we're looking forward to continuing 90210 Enterprise. We have a community, so we're looking for you to, contribute to our community and share
Absolutely.
your knowledge. So thank you so much. And really thank you to everyone out there for tuning in to today's episode of the 90210 Universe podcast. And remember that our show is really about inspiring stories such as Jeff and the amazing insights that our incredible guests have. And I also would like to thank our fellow hosts, Dr. Natalie Forrest, Dr. Barrett Matthews, and Aaron O'Dodd. And be sure to join us again for more exciting stories and episodes. We'd love to hear from you. And feel free to share your comments and your questions with us. And don't forget to share the show with others. And our show can be found on Spotify, YouTube, or you can also go to our website, which is 90210universe.com. And a special thanks to our sponsor, 90210 Enterprise, for making this all possible. So until next time, stay inspired. Thank you for joining us today in the 90210 Universe, a podcast dedicated to showcasing unique, creative, and diverse humans, who we are, living their legacies, making a difference, and thereby being the change, supporting and inspiring others. Join our universe by subscribing to this podcast, follow us on social media, and contact us to join the 90210 Enterprise community to elevate your life and legacy today.